G'day everyone, my name is Isaac and welcome along to round 5 of the Adrenaline GT GT3 Championship. We are here at the mountain. We're going to have our Lobby B drivers do 14 laps around here to try and tame the mountain today. This week I'm joined by the legend himself, Justin Luttaway. G'day Justin.
Hi Isaac, great to be here.
Yeah mate, great to have you here. This is certainly shaping up to be an absolute cracking race. It's a very tough circuit, and with heavy damage, these drivers, they've got a mighty task ahead of them today, trying to make it through these 14 laps.
Oh, they certainly do, and for myself, this is my personal favourite track, and I can tell you a lot of these guys, even though it's Lobby B, they're still super competitive. There's still a lot of quick guys in this lobby, and yeah, I think it's just going to be a cracking race.
100%. It's certainly shaping up to be an absolute cracker. Let's run you through the track stats now. So 6.1 kilometres of beautiful, glorious Australian tarmac around here, 23 turns and 174 metres of elevation change. It's quite steep going up and it's even steeper coming back down. We've got a mandatory medium tyre today as well, and the real life lap record around here as well, set by Shane Van Gisbergen, is a 2:01.5. So definitely a quick lap time around here in a GT3 car. Areas you want to look out for today, coming into the first corner, so Hell Corner, that's an action can unfold there. Definitely keep an eye out on that today. Coming into turn 2 at the quarry and up through the cutting, if you're brave, you can make a move stick through there. We have seen it before. It's pretty much all single file across the top here, all the way down through the S's, and if you can get a good run through the Dipper and out of Forest Elbow, you'll find yourself looking to make a move down into the chase, almost 280 kilometres an hour when our drivers reach the bottom of the hill at the chase, and then into Murray's Corner. You might see a few drivers trying to set up a move through there, maybe trying to get a good run out to get into turn 1. So a lot of action spots here. Let's have a look at the grid order as well. So 666 prevails. He sat out last week for the wet race. Wasn't too keen to get involved in that one, but he's back this week and he's put it on pole straight away. So he's got the pace in that AMG Mercedes. OGR Stealth coming out a second in the Jag for this one. Al Dusty in third. Irish Rebel, the other Mercedes driver, in fourth. Jay Ballack in fifth for this one as well. Sat out last week as well, so he's back this week as well. The 2666 Racing Boys in the top 5 in qualifying. Icer Energy in sixth. Isaac Fogg, last week's race winner, coming out of 7th. Mr. Awesome 8th. BMF Pirate Ant out of 9th. Madrick 10th. Porsche GT 11th. Axaga 12th. Alba 13th. CFR Grimdev in 14th, and HC Renegade just struggled to find the pace in qualifying. He'll come out of 15th. This is going to be an absolute cracking race. Let's jump into all the action now. Here we go. The race time here at the mountain. All right, here we go then. Bit of a awkward spot to start from for these guys, and a few cars will miss out on the being on the front straight, for the start lights. So that might put them a little bit behind. But everyone seems fairly clean so far. Here we go. OGR Stealth already shaping up to make a move on 666 prevails up towards turn 2. They're looking to go side by side. This is beautiful action already unfolding here at the mountain. OGR Stealth looking to go around the outside, and he's made the move. Beautiful job. Great move there into turn 2, and finds himself already up into the lead of this one. There's another car 6 side by side. I believe that's Al Dusty, and Prevails is in the wall. And Irish Rebel having a look at the inside of Al Dusty as well. So these guys going toe to toe already, and Al Dusty maybe suffered a little bit of damage as a result of that contact, and already going toe to toe. These guys sort of already bottlenecking their way, and here we go across the top of the mountain. This is where you're not really going to find a lot of people making moves early on in this one. Icer Energy riding behind Jay Ballack here. This is making for a great little battle early on, and Justin, there's plenty of action to unpack already, and we've barely made it halfway through lap 1.
Oh, this is Bathurst for you, isn't it? It's just such a legendary track, and it always provides the goods, and yeah, that amazing pass from OGR Stealth. We all know that Jag has some legs on the straight, and he definitely put it to good use there.
Yeah, 100%. It's very quick in a straight line, the Jag, and he's made use of that. He's out in front and trying to get away. Here we go. So that is Jay Ballack and Icer Energy side by side down Conrod straight in. Here we go. 2 more cars that are side by side. It's Mr. Awesome and BMF Pirate Ant as we come towards the chase now. Mr. Awesome's going to hold out in that one. Isaac Fogg in the boost. He just runs a little bit wide at the exit in the Boost Mobile livery. We were talking earlier in the Lobby A race. A lot of beautiful liveries. Here we go. Mr. Awesome looking at the inside. I can't even get a word in to talk about other things because there's still so much action going on. And we're going to follow this little battle down towards turn 1. Pirate Ant having a look up the inside. And that is, is that Isaac Fogg into the back of Jay Ballack. Mr. Awesome in the back of Isaac Fogg. A bit of a bottleneck. And that is a car around. I believe that's Madrick around. And it's all happening here early. And CL5 Grim Death has, look at this, he qualified 14th, and as a result of that, whatever's just happened at turn 1 there, as he's blocked by Porsche GT up towards turn 2, he's found himself up into 8th position, so he's capitalised on the chaos that just unfolded at turn 1 there. Oh,
that's right. You got to take what you get, don't you?
Yeah, that's right. A bit of side-by-side contact between Porsche GT and Grim Death there. But yeah, sorry to cut you off there, Justin. But yeah, so what are your thoughts on the action that we've had so far in this one?
Oh man, you even just saw a car there just bouncing off the wall. I think Porsche GT again, but this is typical Bathurst for you, isn't it? It's just great action everywhere around the track, and yeah, I'm not sure what happened with Foggy there. I'm sure there will be a replay. Oh no, Porsche has gone around.
And this is...
And more bottlenecks.
It's happening everywhere at the moment in Lobby B. The action is aplenty, and Alba and Renegade, who are already battling it out, now got a slow-going Porsche GT and Axaga in front of them. This is... Oh, and Axaga's in the wall.
No.
He's glitch side in the wall.
Lag spike.
His lag spike there for him. A netcode issue by the looks of it. And oh, mate, this is... so hard to unpack. Jay Ballack, after all this, finds himself down the back, and Madrick finds himself in last after that spin at turn 1. And I believe whatever happened with Fogg and Ballack at turn 1 there has just created the craziest chain of events that I have seen. As we see, CF
pick up my commentary debut. How do you keep your breath doing this all the time?
Oh, mate, it's a lot to unpack. And here we go. So Grim Death having a look on Isaac Fogg, who I believe has damage as a result of that incident at turn 1. So Death has found himself, he's pretty much halved his starting position. He started 14th, he's now 7th. He is going great guns here early in this one. Meanwhile, at the front, our race leaders... Prevails and Stealth sort of line astern at the moment, so they're going at it at the front. Al Dusty and Irish Rebel battling for the podium places here, and then ISO Energy finds himself on his own as a result of all of that. He was just in front enough to avoid all of that chaos behind him, and Grim Death has now got past Isaac Fogg, so up into 6th, so a brilliant start from him. Yeah, wow. That's a lot happening.
Well, I'll let you catch your breath for a second there, Isaac. But yeah, it's definitely all happening, and you can see out the front, it's pretty close between the front 4. OGR Stealth, he's just hanging on to the lead at the moment with 666 Prevails right in behind him, waiting for any mistake that might be made. And it looks like Porsche GT's had a bit of a rough start here. Yeah, he didn't make the best move there. Looked like he had a bit of a block there on Grim Death going into turn 2, which is not really what we want to see. But yeah, here we go. We're seeing all these cars now that are all together as a result of the early lap incidents. And oh, look at that! It's just great racing. Oh, and Renegade is sideways there, Isaac. Soon.
Yeah, it's he's got the lights flashing as well. He doesn't look very happy with that one. The move from Alba up the inside, and Renegade now finds himself down the back, but. It's all going, and here we go. Battle of the BMWs. Ballack, who had pace early in this one, he's going to look to make use of it. Coming into the chase, he pulls to the inside to look up the inside of Alba, but just backs out of that one slightly. And I think he's just lost a little bit of ground there. But yeah, wow, it is all unfolding here early doors at the mountain. They're not holding back. These guys, you know, they want to fight for position. I think that, you know, they know that there's also the potential of a strong overall result, but I think when you're in the heat of the moment in the lobby with cars around you, you're more concerned about the cars that are around you and beating them rather than, you know, trying to fight for position across different lobbies. So it makes for great racing for us. Gives plenty of action for us to unfold.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, as a fellow racer myself, I can definitely attest to that. That yeah, you're not thinking about the combined results when you're in the heat of the battle. You're definitely just thinking about the there and then, and you just get caught up in that, and that's all you're focused on.
Yeah, that's right. And it's hard, you know. You want to have a good, strong overall result, but you also, you know, you want to perform well on track. And sometimes it's the difference between making the move and going for the risk of, you know, potentially having something happen and going to the back, or do you just sit in behind? And I think, you know, there's a yellow flag out. Not what sure that is for. That is a car backwards.
Oh, no.
That is Adrenaline facing sideways, and thankfully he's ghosted. He was on his own, so I believe he's done that all by himself there, and now finds himself down the back with Madrick for company. Yeah, wow. So it's not only are we seeing cars, you know, battling for position and trying to, you know, keep it clean racing against each other, but it's also a challenge trying to keep it clean yourself. And it's a very tricky track, especially going down the hill. The cars can get quite loose, so it makes for a tricky time for these drivers, and takes a lot of consistency to keep it together around here.
Oh, it sure does, and I've driven that the AMG 20 myself, and I can tell you it is quite tail happy, and it is very easy to get loose. And yeah, I can understand what happened there with Ice Energia, and it's definitely an easy mistake to make.
Yeah, that's right. Very easy mistake to make. And here we go. The first of our guys coming to the pit. So Mr. Awesome and Grim Death are in. So they are now the first of our guys to blink and stop in this one. Mr. Awesome, Ice Energy also in there on the medium tyres, Grim Death on the soft tyres, so maybe a little bit of damage.
A very early stop for a soft tyre. He's going to have to do a lot of 10 laps now on the mediums. Yeah, it's a long time spent on the mediums. Luckily, it is the tougher tyre, so we'll have good tyre life for the rest of this one, but also possibly a bit of fuel saving to be done for him as well. And that is BMF Pirate Ant, just been jumped by Jay Ballack as well. And Porsche GT going to have a look at the inside here. BMF Pirate Ant going slowly, so possibly an incident for him as well in turn 2. And he's clipped the inside wall as well. So it's not going well here.
I think, you know, it's really difficult to keep up with, because 1 minute a driver's up in 5th and the next minute they're down the pack. If we have a look at Jay Ballack, he's up into 7th again, and he was last at one point.
That's right. Yeah, it's all going on at the moment. Looks like Pirate Ant has just got his tyres dirty there, and you know, as racers we all know what happens once your tyres get dirty. It's just an absolute nightmare.
Yeah, that is right. And while I say that, Prevails, 66 Prevails, is also dropped down to 4th position, so possibly a little mistake from him to now find himself in 4th. He's still quite high up in terms of the podium places, and he's got a bit of a gap considering pretty much every single car behind him has been involved in an incident or one incident or another at some point in this race so far. So he's doing well to still be going in 4th, and he's got a fair gap to Isaac Fogg behind him, who's just coming to the chase now. So he's going to keep pushing. I believe most of these guys trying to get most of the front runners, are on soft tyres, and some of the guys behind just trying to get the medium tyres out of the way early. As here we go into turn 1, and he's beautiful through there. Great driving from him in the Mercedes. Very strong driver, 666 Prevails. As here we go, Isaac Fogg, Aksaga are in now as well. So more drivers pitting. Aksaga also on the soft tyre. So some of our soft tyre runners, Justin, pitting very early, which is interesting to see. We're just cutting in with a replay here because we did miss this one on track. So Al, Dusty and Prevails going side by side. Prevails just sends it a little bit too deep, gets a little bit too wide, and finds himself in the outside wall in the sand trap at turn 1. So Hell Corner finding another victim in this race, and just unfortunate for him, but he'll get back on track and keep going. He's only in 5th place with CL5 Grim Death right behind him, so he'll push on and keep going in this one.
Well, you'd have to think that they have damage. There's no other real reason why you would be coming in that early to get rid of those softs, because you really want to maximize the time that you're on the softs, especially at a track like Bathurst where it's roughly 1.3 to 1.5 seconds a lap slower, the medium tyre, than the soft, so you really want to stay on that soft as long as you can.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, as you said, damage would be the only reason for stopping early. But here we go. This is the lead battle pack, actually, which is really good to see that our 3 leaders are right on each other.
There.
It's very close, very tight at the moment. OGR Stealth leading the way in that lovely looking Caltex Jag, very Lowndes-esque of him, and Irish Rebel in the man filter AMG Mercedes. I believe it's escaped me now who drives that car, but it may come back to me.
Yes, I can't recollect that either at this time.
I know who I'm thinking of, but I cannot think of the name. Oh, Maro Angle, that's who it is. That's who the car was driven by when it was at Bathurst. Maro Angle in the man filter car. So very lovely. I was mentioning earlier, if everyone goes and checks out the Lobby A commentary, there's some great liveries in Lobby A as well. But I was mentioning to Chris that it's great to see a lot of the drivers getting around the Bathurst round and pulling out some supercars and 12-hour style liveries for this round.
Yeah, that's right. There's been some amazing liveries made for this round, and I think there was 1 or 2 who initially submitted the supercar liveries, and then it just caught on, and next minute we had, I don't know, 15 to 20 or so liveries flying in. But no, I definitely agree with you, Isaac. There's some amazing liveries here at Bathurst, and it's just great to see them all, and yeah, shining in the sunlight there in this evening time of the day, which I tell you was quite hard to drive in with the sun shining in your eyes.
Yeah, it was a very, very bright sun, especially when you're coming into the cutting there. It's straight in your eyes, and I guess the good thing about having 3 different lobbies is the conditions are set to equal, so the sun doesn't move. But that also can be quite annoying for drivers if the sun's in a bit of a tricky spot, as it is sort of around through this area especially. So can be an advantage, but it can also be a disadvantage. So HC Renegade, currently the last of the cars to stop. Everyone in front of him hasn't stopped, and everyone behind him has stopped. So Mr. Awesome leading the way of the guys that have stopped so far. Will be interesting to see where he spits out. Isaac Fogg currently second of the guys that have stopped, and then Axaga and Porsche GT have also stopped. These guys, they've been attached to the hip this race. These two, no matter where they've been up and down the pack, they have found themselves together. So a bit inseparable at the moment, these two. And Porsche GT looks like he has a little bit more pace than Axaga. Obviously Porsche GT starting on the medium tyres, so now on the soft, so more pace in that car than Axaga, who's now on the mediums. And it's interesting to see, as you said earlier, the difference in pace, about a second and a half a lap, depending on how you drive the car. So as we come through here, I think there's a bit of contact with Porsche GT, front to rear contact, and he's hit the back of Axaga, and Porsche GT has also stopped. Not sure if he's hit the wall. I think he's just trying to redress, but that's going to make a bit of hell for Madrick, who's trying to get through in the lovely Perkins liveried car. And while we do see redressing sometimes in this series, if it's a minor incident, it's never a good idea if it's a major incident, because then it makes issues for drivers like Madrick, who are trying to get through, and sometimes it's just best to keep going. As I will point out that our race leader, OGR Stealth, has stopped through all this chaos, but Porsche GT now right up behind Madrick, looking to make a move into the chase. And here we go, he's so deep on the brakes, and he's made contact with Axaga again. Poor Axaga, who was just out in front, has become a victim in this incident, and very unfortunate for him in this one that he's gone off again. And wow, just
fortunately, I think Porsche GT is playing the wrong sport at the moment. I think he's confused with 10-pin bowling.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate driving. I probably shouldn't laugh, but it is quite unfortunate that for both Madrick and Axaga, just caught up in there.
It is very hard when you're on that quicker tire and you know that you're quicker and just trying to, and the slow tire has that extra grip, so you can brake that little bit as well. So sometimes you don't quite judge those braking points right, and it is quite easy to get into the rear of someone.
Yeah, that's right. It's very hard when you're on different compounded tyres to judge where that braking zone is. But I think it's important to roll out of the throttle a little bit earlier and make sure that you're setting yourself up in a good enough position to come out on the other side quite strongly, because you've got the better grip on the tyre. So if you brake a bit earlier, come out a bit faster, you'll have the better grip, you'll be faster through the corner, and you'll be able to make the move into the next corner. So it's just all about, I think, a little bit of racecraft, and it's something that we work with all our drivers here at AGT, and anyone that wants a bit of help, we're more than happy to sit down and give them a hand. But Jay Ballack, who he's yet to stop, finds himself in a bit of a situation here, because he's got Al Dusty in front of him, who has stopped, and OGR Stealth behind him, who hasn't stopped. And Al Dusty, who, while all that chaos was going on, with what was happening at the top of the mountain and down the hill, has undercut OGR Stealth and found himself ahead. So Al Dusty showing that the undercut around here is quite strong. This is another replay I've been told I should watch as well. So Prevail's coming out of the first corner, gets a little bit loose, finds himself on the grass, and oh, look at that air that he gets. Gets it back on the track. I think he might have done that one maybe on purpose, but a bit of air there for him on the front straight. Nice little jump there, running in 4th place, all on his own at the moment. But yeah, nice little bunny hop there for him over the little gap in the road. Coming down Mountain Straight.
Yeah, he certainly has, and it looks like as well that Irish Rebel was now the only driver not to pit. It'll be interesting to see where he comes out in this battle pack. But yeah, Al Dusty has definitely jumped OGR Stealth in the pit stop cycle there, and yeah, as you said, Jay Ballack now is caught up between those two.
Yes, well, Jay Ballack was the only other car that is yet to stop as well. So Jay Ballack hasn't stopped yet. Obviously caught up in incidents earlier in the race, but finds himself in 3rd, and that's just my point of, even though he's yet to stop, there's so much happening in this race that all you have to do is just keep it clean for a bit, and you'll find yourself up the order and fighting for positions higher up. So brilliant drive from him to come back to 3rd. We'll see where he comes out after this round of pit stops. I believe the next set of cars, so Prevails is just going down Skyline now, with Mr. Awesome not far behind him, and then Isaac Fogg is a little way behind them. So he may come out between Mr. Awesome and Isaac Fogg when we get to that point of stops. But here we go.
Here we go.
Race leader in. Where will he come out? So we said that the undercut that Al Dusty put off was quite powerful. Irish Rebel stayed out longer on the soft tyres, almost to the point where he's got 3 litres of fuel left, so he's got no more fuel in the tank. How will the undercut look, or the overcut, sorry, look for him? Has he managed to pull it off?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. We'll find out any moment now, and I'm not sure how far back Jay Ballack is, and there he is. He's also coming in, so we've got the 2 last stoppers coming in, and we're about to find out where Irish Rebel comes out.
There he is, just ahead of Al Dusty. So Irish Rebel has pulled off an almighty move and jumped both OGR Stealth and Al Dusty. Al Dusty is catching up to him, and he's obviously on the warmer tyres, so his tyres are up to temperature.
Nice,
and he's just set the purple sector in sector 1, actually, so he's quite quick at the moment. He is the fastest car on track. He has the fastest lap of the race. So it's going to be a bit of a battle now, as we see Jay Ballack comes out between Mr. Awesome and Isaac Fox. So he does find himself in 6th position, which is great for him after that incident earlier on. I did call it. I tried to predict where he might come out, and
you nailed it.
Did well with that one. So he finds himself in 6th, which is a great result after earlier in this one finding himself in 14th position. So that's a great drive from him. To stay out longer and get through those soft tyres and find himself up in 6th. There is obviously a bit of a difference as Isaac Fogg is on that soft tyre, so maybe he can catch Jay Ballack, but I also believe Isaac Fogg is struggling for fuel as well. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. As Al Dusty gets
no.
loose. Oh no! He was right up
shame.
behind Irish Rebel, and he just got loose, and I believe he's probably copped some damage out of that as well, because that's a very tough concrete wall on the inside of that. So that is so frustrating for Al Dusty. He was doing so well. He was right up behind Irish Rebel, and Irish Rebel, he'll be cheering at the moment because that is the break he needed. He would have been seeing that Porsche chase him down in his rearview mirror, and that's just the break he needed, Justin.
It sure is, Isaac, and I can relate to Al Dusty there. It's very easy to get somewhat greedy, I guess you can say, to try and nail that forest elbow there to get that perfect run, because he was, as you said, pretty close to Irish Rebel there, and I can imagine in his head he was thinking, if I can just get the perfect exit out of here down onto the straight, I'll be able to get the move done. But I think he's just braked out a little bit too late, just bit off a bit more than he can chew, and yeah, it's unfortunately resulted in him having a little bit of an incident there.
Yeah, it has, and it probably left him with a little bit of damage on that car as well, so disappointing for him, but still in second place, still going strong in this one with just, 4 laps to go in this race. We've got lap 11, 12, 13, 14, so yeah, 4 laps to go in this one. We're almost to the end, and I believe our order is quite set, and we'll run you through our order. So we've got Irish Rebel in first, Al Dusty second, OGR Stealth in third, 666 Prevails with Mr. Awesome right behind him in fifth, Jay Ballack in sixth, and then a bit of a gap back to Isaac Fogg in seventh, then a bit of a gap back to HC Renegade in eighth, Madrick in ninth, with a little battle pack here with Madrick, Alba, and Porsche GT. So this is all still going back here, and Alba going to have a look up the inside of Madrick, but backs out of that one. So had a little bit of a think about it, and Porsche GT is going to have a look around the outside of Alba here, gets that one done, coming up towards the cutting. So that was a nice move from Porsche GT, just to capitalise on the slightly compromised exit that Alba got, and just move around the outside. So a nice move from him. We've got Grim Death down in 12th, Icer Energy 13th, Axaga 14th, and BMF Paradant down the back in 15th. So a few drivers here just who might be struggling early, later at the back end of this one. But I say that BMF Paradant, despite being in last, does have the fastest lap of the race at 2:02.5. So is also currently the quickest car on track.
I believe, looking at the screen there, he may have pitted again. He may have some brand new softs on that car. Yes,
you are right. If I look at the time splits there, he did a 3:02 on lap 7. So you do seem right. He may have pitted again, put some new softs on that car, and is just trying to go probably for lap times at this point, over anything else, just to maybe get an extra point if he can. I know the Lobby A guys are quite quick, but you know, depending on what happens in Lobby A, he could find himself with the fastest lap of the race overall, but definitely going for pace. Icer Energy, that's a very nice looking R&J Batteries, Brad Jones style livery on that car. And yeah, just I think the battle pack seems to be here at the moment with Porsche GT and Madrick.
It sure does, and it looks like Porsche GT is showing the nose at the moment. He's definitely backed out there, which was the right thing to do, and I think it's definitely, considering the events that have happened already in this race, the right call from Porsche GT to back out of that one. He's just gotten a little bit impatient a couple of times already, so yeah, wise move there from him to just back out, be a bit more patient. And you know, look, like we've all been there. I know Porsche, he's only 16 years old. He is quite inexperienced, and a lot of these things, it does come with experience, you know, and he'll still be learning, and he'll be taking all these things on board. And you know, speaking from my own experience as well, I also had a lot of incidents and things like that happen when I first started sim racing, and you've just got to not let it get to you. You've just got to push on, and yeah, you know, things will work out eventually.
Yeah, that's right. It's all about patience and waiting for the right moment to make a move. And even though if you're on the faster tyre, yeah, you're exactly right. It's but these things, as you said, come with experience, and he's only young. He's got plenty of time left to build up his experience, and he's had a couple good moves today, which has been good to see. That move around the outside of Alba was really nice, coming up towards the cutting. So It seems to have stabilised a little bit now. We'll check down the pack as we're going. There's a bit of a gap forming between Prevails and Mr. Awesome. Our Dusty has lost a position to OGR Stealth, so that is a change of position. I believe coming down through the chase towards the final corner, that move was made. So that is now OGR Stealth up into second. He's got a lot of pace in that Jag, so hopefully Irish Rebel, who has bolted a bit here, we'll see if we can get the visual gaps for you here. There you go. You can see them in the background. OGR Stealth there. OGR Stealth might want to be trying to catch up to Irish Rebel towards the back of this one, but he hasn't got a lot of time left to do it, unfortunately. We're going to grab a replay of this awesome battle that we missed for second place between Al Dusty and OGR Stealth. Coming into the chase, OGR Stealth is right there, has a look up the inside, thinks better of it. And Al Dusty gets a little bit loose on the exit. That gives OGR Stealth the run he needs down towards Murray's corner. He's going to have a look up the inside. Yes, he is. They go side by side into the final corner. Al Dusty gives him the room. Absolutely beautiful racing between these two. Great racecraft. And that is OGR Stealth up into second place. Means he can now try and set after Irish Rebel to maybe take this one away from him if he can. Al Dusty isn't letting him go, but that is a change of position.
He's definitely not letting him go here. That Jag has definitely got the top end speed on the Porsche, but I would say as I say that, we see Al Dusty into the wall there, but that Porsche definitely would have the advantage through the twisties here. But I think OGR Stealth, with that little bit of extra speed down the straights, was just able to get the pass done. And then Al Dusty again, he's just pushing that little bit too hard, just trying to get close, trying to make those moves. But sometimes you've just got to know the limits and just stick within those limits, otherwise it can end up a lot worse.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Sometimes it's just you need to. It's about knowing where the limit of the car is, and I think he's trying to push really hard just to keep up with OGR Stealth here and maybe some amount of movement. You can see the gap that OGR Stealth's already pulled. Even down the straight, you can see him pulling away as we go down the straight. That Jag is ridiculously quick in a straight line. And he's already eaten into a bit of that gap that's into Irish Rebel, but I don't think it's going to be enough because Irish Rebel is going to come around here to start the final lap of the race. We'll do a quick check down the order. J Balak in 6th, Isaac Fogg. I can confirm, based on my insider knowledge of what happened in this race, he has in fact done a Jamie Whincup, and he is struggling for fuel at the mountain and could very well run out of fuel with 1 lap to go. So we're going to keep an eye on that, because HC Renegade, you can see the gap that he's closed behind, and that gap was much bigger earlier. Isaac Fogg is fuel saving like mad to try and get to the end of this one, and HC Renegade can smell a 7th place in this race after he started. If I have a look at my qualifying results here, he started last, so he started 15th place, and he can smell a 7th place here in this one if Isaac Fogg can't quite make the fuel last to the end. So we'll keep an eye on that. Madrick as well could find himself, if he can keep it consistent and up there, he could find himself into, what would that be, 8th place as well. Porsche GT is in the pits, so I believe that's for fuel. I don't think he's going to make it around one more time on fuel. So Isaac Fogg has decided to stay out with very low fuel, and Porsche GT has decided to come in to put more fuel in the car. So he's putting just enough in to get to the end. As you can see, no tyres for him there, and will come out just behind Grim Death in this one and try and maybe make up one more spot to bring this one home. But we're going to check in with our race leader now. It's been one hell of a race as he brings it down, Conrad. Justin, it's been a crazy race.
It sure has, Isaac, and funnily enough, we've hardly seen Irish Rebel in this race. He's just kept himself out of everything. He's just been low-key throughout the race, but I mean, look at him here. He's out front and looks like he's going to seal the win. I believe he started 4th, was it? So he's just been the silent assassin today, picked up people 3 places through the race, but yeah, he's managed to come through unscathed, and it looks like he's going to win this one.
Yeah, he is. He started 4th. He had a bit of a difficult week last week in the rain, but the Irish Kiwi has taken the Aussies to school today. He's going to come home to win. OGR Stealth will come home in 2nd for this one, and Al Dusty with 666 Prevails right behind him is going to come home 3rd. prevails in fourth. Mr. Awesome fifth. J Ballack 6th. And HC Renegade, he's going to get Isaac Fogg here.
Here we go.
Isaac Fogg, he's fuel saving like mad. He's trying to get to the end of this one. That's Renegade up into 7th. Isaac Fogg, here we go. And that's it. He's out of fuel. He's done. He's out of fuel. That is it. He's going to have to coast to the end here. Where is Madrick? Can Madrick get him? Isaac Fogg is rolling. Madrick's going to try and get him on the line here. Here we go. Is he going to get him? Yes, he is. Look at how close that is. Isaac Fogg rolls across the line. He's done a Jamie Whincup. He's run out of fuel. Alba, 10th. COFR Grim Death with Porsche GT right behind him. Will come home 11th in this one. Oh, a bit of contact in the last corner.
Oh, no.
And he sent it wide into the last corner. Porsche GT, he's going to redress that position and give it back to him, which is, I mean, nice of him, but that was a bit of a dirty move into the final corner, and Icer Energy will almost benefit from that. Axaga, another struggle this week for him, comes home 14th, and BMF Pyrodan has the fast stuff of the race, but comes home last. You see there as well, 666 prevails. We'll cover that in the race results, but 666 prevails just momentarily dropped to last there. That is a glitch in the timing, and will be corrected later on. But I've got to ask you, Justin, despite the crazy lap, and while I get my breath back, who was your driver of the day in this one? I know it's a bit of a tough one to pick, but you've got to pick one. Who are you going with?
Well, for starters, I have to narrow it down to two. So for me, it's between HC Renegade, who started last and made his way all the way up to 7th. And the second one would be obviously Irish Rebel. He started 4th. He just stayed out of trouble. He obviously was very consistent, didn't make any mistakes. And yeah, he found himself with another race win. And ultimately, I think this, considering all the carnage and everything that happened in that mid-pack and towards the back of the pack there, I'll have to give it to HC Renegade. It was just an amazing drive for him. He made up, I think it was 8 spots, 15 people in the lobby.
Yep, 8 spots.
Yep, so he made up 8 spots all up. So for me today, it's definitely going to be HC Renegade. Congrats, mate. Wonderful drive.
Yeah, it was. He drove a brilliant race today, and I think you're spot on there with that. Let's have another look at our results now. So, Irish Rebel comes home first, OGR Stealth second, Al Dusty third. Now it says Mr. Awesome is 4th, but as we just mentioned, HC Renegade, 666 Prevails was, for some reason in the results, glitched and put down the back of the grid in the results, but he did finish 4th, and that was corrected in the overall results. So he finishes 4th, Mr. Awesome 5th, J Ballack in 6th, HC Renegade 7th, Madrick 8th, Isaac Fogg, really unfortunate to run out of fuel at the end of that one, will come home in 9th. Where is it? Alba 10th. I'm looking at the wrong list. Alba comes home in 10th. COFR Grim Death in 11th after that contact with Porsche GT in the final corner. Porsche GT did redress the position and will come home 12th. Icer Energy in 13th. Unfortunate with that spin at the top of the mountain early on in the race. Was running really well up to that point. Still ran really well at the back end of the race, but it was just hard to recover from there. Axaga comes home in 14th and BMF Pyrodan in 15th, rounding out the grid, even though he did have the fastest lap of the race at the end of that one. Wow, I think I'm going to need a whole week to decompress from that race.
That is for sure.
That was a lot of action, Justin, and it gets better because next week we're going to do it all again at Spa.
We sure are, and I think we're all going to need to catch our breath after that one. And I know that all the action was hectic through all the lobbies this week, and I know most people are looking forward to Spa next week, including myself. Such an iconic, legendary track, that one, and it's going to be a great one, as always.
Yeah, that's right. It's going to be a great race, and we can't wait to bring you all the action here on the Adrenaline GT YouTube channel. Until then, thank you so much for watching. I've been Isaac, and thanks to Justin for joining me. It's been great to have you guys tuning in. We'll see you next week for Spa. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.